Good morning. Hello. I'm a Qigong teacher, but I'm also very passionate about painting and drawing and creating. And as a Qigong teacher and a regular meditator, also about mindfulness. So I love to bring the two together. So here's a process called Zen drawing, although I like to call it drawn to be here because it brings me into the present and also into the slight future of that creative excitement. Okay, so it's a 20-minute practice, and I usually do it in the morning as a meditation. Um, and I take something very simple to draw, and today I'm going to just take one of these tulips. Just put it there so you can see it. And the idea is that there's no end gaming, so we're not looking for an outcome, which is quite challenging sometimes for us humans, especially if we're artists. So it doesn't matter what the outcome is, doesn't matter what it looks like, but it should be a nourishing process for self. So the equipment that you need is a pencil and some colour if you want it, although that's a process that you don't have to have colour, but I do. And a large piece of paper or several pieces of small paper. Or actually, I work digitally, so a tablet with an S Pen would be fine, or an iPad, etc., if you're used to working with them. The other thing that I have is a cup of tea. Always have a cup of tea. And if you're on the computer, fine, but if not, then a timepiece, something to time yourself with. So there are 5 stages to this. The last stage is just feeling the joy of creativity. So there are 4 technical, if you like, stages. So I invite you firstly to put the time at the top of your first piece of paper or the big piece of paper that you're working on. So for me, that's 11:12. And we're going to do each of the 4 stages for 7 minutes. And goodness knows where that comes from. Could be 6, could be 10, could be 30. But for me, it's 7. So I'm also going to write 11. I'm going to write 11:20 because by the time I start, that's what it will be. So that's 11:20 is 7 minutes after when I start. Okay. So there are 2 ways of doing this. We're going to draw in different ways 4 times. So I could draw on the same piece of paper over crisscrossing, which is a bit counterintuitive, but one drawing over the other, which is sometimes quite interesting actually. Or I can divide the paper into 4 and do 4 different drawings. So it's entirely up to you. I think today I'm going to divide it into 4 because it's probably easier to show you the process. So I've divided my piece of paper into 4 and I've got my tulip. So for the first 7 minutes, and actually because this is a bit of a tutorial, I guess, I'm not actually going to do 7 minutes, but I'm going to describe what I would do. So here we go. So bring yourself into the present, however you might want to do that. Maybe by watching the breath. And maybe by feeling the connection of your body against your chair or your mat, if you're sitting on a yoga mat or the ground, cushion, the back of the chair if you're sitting on a chair. And just give that a few moments. You're welcome to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And then softly bringing your attention to the item that you are drawing. And softly is a key word. So you're not gazing to see as in life drawing, which I love, and still lives, you're not doing focal length or anything like that, or where's the shade, where's the, nothing wrong with that. But in this process, you are just softly landing on the object that you're going to draw. And then we're going to take its name away. So in life, it's very useful for us to have named things. This is a tulip. Outside is a tree, etc., etc., because that's, easy. But in so doing, perhaps we miss something. And so just gently take its name away. So it's not tulip or flower. And maybe that shifts something. Just note if that shifts something between you and the object. And perhaps now I'm suggesting that you are both equal. You're present. It's got no name. It's present too. And so maybe it has the information flow, if you like, or the communication is two-way. So you're getting information from the flower. What does it have to give you, as well as you giving it the information of name, shape, color, etc., etc. And maybe nothing comes and it's fine. The process is just being open to that. And then we might touch it. So once again, no expectation. We don't know how it's going to feel. It can be helpful to imagine that you're an alien and you're looking at this thing as if you've never seen it before. And so we touch it. And we might have all sorts of descriptive words, and that's fine. But actually, I would invite you to just really feel the connection between you and the thing, that particular quality of it. And we might also smell it, or we might actually touch it with another part of our body. Again, words may come soft, in this case, gentle, but actually just feel, again, that the quality has no name. It just is. We might also hear it. I can hear it as I'm holding it. And finally, we smell it. And I am now up to 7 minutes. So that's the first stage. Second stage, oh, and then cup of tea. Probably that's not awfully zen. But anyway, second stage, you take the first box or first piece of paper or the piece of paper. We're still gazing at it as if it has no name. And you're moving the pencil on the paper. So you've got an essence of the area that you're covering, but you're moving it without looking. So just let your pen or pencil slip across the page. And it's quite difficult because you want to see what's happening. And don't worry if you slip into another area of the page. That's also quite interesting. Don't worry if you don't know where your mark's going. So again, it's a little counterintuitive. You want to look, what's it like? But just let your pencil drift across the page without that interference, if you like, or added ingredient of your rational mind wanting to make it good. And I forgot one thing, which is it's now 11:20. So I'm now putting 11:27 under there. So I know I'm going to do this for 7 minutes and move the timepiece over here. And again, I may not do it for 7 minutes, but anyway, here we go. And if you've lost it and you start again, don't worry. Don't worry about looking at the page. Between you and the object. And you might look around. You might find that your pencil is responding in different ways. I can feel that when I come to this top bit, which is quite curly, my pencil is just doing what it does. And we also might be concerned about, oh, I just think I've done something really good and now I've lost it. And that's absolutely fine. It's part of the process. The temporary, the impermanent. That's the word I was looking for. Nature of things. You might move up a little bit. You might decide to not do the 4. You might change your mind and say, okay, I want to do more of this. I want to do it somewhere else. So I'm going to go somewhere else on the page. And you might turn the page and just start again, see what happens there. So already I can feel that the pencil knows. It's something about my hand knows what to do. Normally I would do that for about 7 minutes and I might cover more of the page, as I said before, than just that. But here's what I've got. Okay. Here's what I've got. I actually quite like that. So I might choose now to work with that, or I might move on to another piece of paper. So let me explain that. Again, it's the process, but now we just bring in a little bit of our creative nature. Okay, so we need to stop and we need to make a decision here. In the next bit, you actually are looking at what you're keeping the no naming of the object, but now in the second bit, you are you're actually looking at both paper and objects, but it's still loose. I'm going to do that on that little bit there. So once again, I take a note of the time. It's actually 11:23. So if I was doing this for real, I would be giving myself until 11:30. So I write that so I can quickly check. And here I go. So that's what I'm doing. Once again, just no outcome. Doesn't matter. No one's watching you. It's like dancing with no one watching. Just enjoy it. Keep that essence of innocence. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Very loose. And once again, give yourself a bit of a challenge. Turn the paper. Start again on another piece. Maybe you just want to see what I'm doing. So I'm just following the shape, basically. And actually, just checking in on that. It is actually they are giving off the most amazing smell, which I didn't really know tulips smell. So now we've got an intimate relationship between object, pencil, pen, creative self, and that's all really. Okay, and once again, Maybe you intuit that you need more paper, just maybe have more paper. Who knows what your process will be? I do all this on a digital device, so who knows what you will enjoy? Your sketchbook, a huge piece of paper, or separate pieces of paper. Okay, let's do the next bit. So I'm going to do it in this bit, and this is a little bit more of inquiry about the shape and image, but we're still being very loose. There's no outcome. So now we're going a little bit more into it. You know, so I can see that this leaf, so maybe there's a little bit more checking in of, am I actually getting this visual interpretation? That's, you know, lovely, that leaf, the stalk coming out. So once again, I've taken check of time, so I'm going to finish this at 11. It's 26 now, so 7 minutes later, so 11:33. But again, I might do it for less, given it's a tutorial, if you like. So now we are looking at, okay, there's very simple stuff like, okay, here's the tulip. This bit is in shadow, so all I'm going to do is make that line darker. That's all. Yeah. Try and avoid, or I suggest that you do, shading or anything like that at the moment. Just do it with thickness of line. So where you see a darker bit on the stem, yeah, this bit is the underneath, it's darker. That's got a thicker line, that's all. And ignore me completely if you think, no, I want to scribble and sketch and do the tone. I'm going to time turn it. You might want to do another here. Yeah, pause, check into that. If you feel yourself tensing, that's an important thing to say. If you feel yourself tensing or thoughts of how's this going to look on Facebook, that's fine. That's fine, but just course correct and come back into, actually, this is my meditation. You know, that's all it is. It's nourishing for me. It's not for anyone else. Okay. So I'm turning the page. I'm doing another sketch of the tulip here because I'm really enjoying that bit where it goes really nice. And I'm going to make that thicker line. So for me, often my drawings become, they abstract. You know, many of the details just go by the way, and I end up with these big, very simple shapes. And that's just me. You might end up with something completely different, but that's what I end up with. Okay. So just maybe stop and recenter. The final bit is optional. So the final bit is colour. And I really, really enjoy colour. And I have some options here. So if obviously I'm going to go for yellow, I think. So let me find yellow. Obviously you can do it on watercolour paper and use watercolours. I might look at all this and think, actually, I really like this. So I'm going to work on that. And I am going to work on that because I do really like that. And I also really like, but going way back to the one where we weren't looking at the object, I'm also going to go back there because I really like that too. So colour can be obviously useful in isolating, yeah, isolating the shapes that you want to accentuate. You know, and let the colour take you. So what other colour can I see? Really look into this object. We've called it mainly yellow and green. Maybe there's something else, like, can you see blue or pink, orange, black, dark blue? I can see dark blue. And if you can see it, then mark it somewhere. So I can see that there's dark blue here. So there's green here. Okay, so this is its stalk. So I think I might just do that. And on this one, I might play with that too. So I might accentuate that. So you see what I'm ducking backwards and forwards. Yeah, so that's that. There's a bit of green at the top there, I can see. The green at the top there. And then I can see dark blue. And now I'm getting really excited. So give yourself permission to get it wrong. You know, all right, I think I see some orange there, but you know, maybe I don't. But I can definitely see some dark. Oh, okay, picked up the wrong colour, but don't worry about that. That was meant to be dark blue, but it's actually, so that's around where it bends the curve. And you know, like scribble doesn't matter at all. But I'm really excited that I can actually see some orange here. So I'm going to exaggerate that with a red because I can't. I'm so excited and I can't find my orange pencil, so I'm just going to exaggerate that with. Yeah, I'm really pleased to have found that orange. Yeah. Okay. Now, um, that's probably my 20 minutes practice, and here's my page. I really, really like that. I'm really pleased with that. I like the quick because I like quickness and I love the process. So just take a minute to extend the joy and the relationship between this beautiful object and me. But if you are an artist, try now going into your usual way of working or endgaming. You know, I want to make a picture of tulips to hang in a gallery, and see if the process changes the outcome. And maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't. And thank you so much for watching.